now that we defined the ICP of who or what type of companies we want to sell to, we're going to look at how to define the buyer personas. What type of people at those companies do we want to go sell to? And again, we're always looking for things like what department do they work in, what's their title, responsibilities, how long have they been at this company, and potential pain points as well. So we're going to use our favorite company here, Canary, as our example as we work through to how to find buyer personas for Canary. And we're going to do this very, very similar to how we just did the ICP process. So we're going to go online, we're going to find existing customers that Canary is selling to today, figure out what type of person at those companies they're selling to. We're going to look those people up on LinkedIn, write down all the attributes we can find about them, try to find some commonalities, and then repeat until we see a pattern of who they might sell to. So let's jump in. We're going to start here on the customers page of Canary again. So customers, and we have all these case studies that we can choose from. So if we start looking at some of these case studies, immediately we'll see or we'll get a sense of who they're selling to. So we see right here in the first sentence, we have Eric. He's a general manager at the Maid Hotel in New York. And what we want to understand is, one, what's Eric's title? What's his role there at the hotel? And then two, what are some of the pain points he's found or he's having today that, Canary might be able to solve? So in this case, we know he's a general manager, so he's responsible essentially for the day-to-day operations of the hotel from top to bottom. Now, if we start to figure out what he might have been trying to solve, we see in the first sentence here that he was trying to eliminate hotel fraud and front desk lines. So we see a quote here from him. We've been able to improve guest experience, eliminate fraud, drive incremental revenue from upsells. So a lot's going on here with Canary, which is great. That gives us a lot to work with. Let's take another look at another case study here. So if you look at the Pinnacles case study, we've got Sue. Sue's the vice president of finance. She was looking for a way to make her team more efficient. Okay, what does that mean? So it looks like they relied on paper and fax-based processes. And what they were trying to do is move towards more of a digital experience. So that makes sense, right? Let's store this information digitally instead of on paper and in filing cabinets. Awesome. Now, Canary was probably able to help with that, which is great. And we can see that it was easy to set up. And it looks like they reduced overall chargebacks across the hotel, which is always super important. Let's look at one more. What I like to do is always just get a feel for this at a high level, and then we're going to dig in and really, really look at the details here. So we got Lacey. She's the general manager. So I'm already seeing some patterns here, general managers. And let's see what Lacey was trying to do. Make her team more efficient. That's twice talking about efficiency as well. Looks like they were using paper as well to get these credit card forms over. And they've probably been able to streamline that. They were using fax and emails for credit card authorization. So in addition to mobile check-in, it looks like this credit card authorization is a big piece of what Canary does. What I'm doing is just trying to keep track of some of this in my head really quickly. And then I'm going to start to dig in. So let's do that now. Let's actually, what we would do is we would flip over to our spreadsheet, just like we did for ICPs, and create a buyer personas spreadsheet here. So I've got the company, I've got the title of the people I'm looking up, their name, potential pain point, and then probably their LinkedIn linked here as well. So we see Eric from Maid. He was a general manager. He needed contactless check-in to reduce fraud and chargebacks. We see Lacey, general manager, needed to stop using the fax machine and email for credit card authorizations, probably to reduce fraud and chargebacks. And then the other one we looked at was Sue, VP of Finance, decrease chargebacks, move off paper. So we're starting to see some patterns. A lot of this information is just given to us in these case studies, which is great. And you're going to see this on most companies' websites. You'll see all the case studies laid out for you. And then you can also dig into it. So we've got Eric's LinkedIn right here. We can just click this link. It'll take us right to his LinkedIn, which is awesome. And we can learn a little bit more about Eric, his role, what he does. If we scroll down, let's see. It looks like he's had a couple roles, right? Regional Director of Hospitality. Looks like he's actually an advisor to Canary, which is cool. So a customer of Canary became an advisor. That shows that he must have trusted and really liked the product there. General manager. He's at a couple other hotels. Public, it looks like. Dream Downtown, another hotel, director of front office, director of guest services. So you can tell he's been in the industry for a while now, which is great. Let's assume we weren't given Eric's little handy LinkedIn here. We can always just copy and paste his name into LinkedIn up top and look him up that way as well. That's always an option. If he's not coming up right away, I would just type in the name. So it's Made Hotel, and should come up. Cool. There he is. Awesome. We found him. Looks like he switched jobs between now and then, but that's okay. So what I would do again is just start to list out as many people as you can find on the website, and see if you can see some common patterns here. You might not have everything filled out for every person. Canary on their customers page has a bunch of general quotes down here, no names, but VP of IT at Classic Resorts. We've got the managing director at Woodside, and we've got the director of finance at 11 Howard in Gramercy. So again, what I'm seeing here is some patterns. I got directors of finance, 2 of those. I've got 4 general managers and maybe call it 5, managing directors or general managers, and then 1 VP of IT. So I'm starting to see some patterns. I'm starting to see these are high-level people that we're going after, right? So general manager, it's a director of finance. I'm seeing patterns in the problems or pain points they're solving too, right? Improve guest experience, decrease chargebacks, decrease fraud, streamline internal processes. I want to just try to capture this all on this piece of paper here so I can get an idea of who they're selling to and the pain points that they're solving. So if I had to sum it up, I would say that we're looking for the top level leaders at any given hotel. So director of finance is a good title for us. General manager is a good title. And I'm curious about this VP of IT or cybersecurity. That's an interesting title too. We might not find that in many boutique hotels, but maybe some of these larger management groups, right? Classic Hotels has over 1,000 employees there, maybe up to 5,000. It's a management group. That might be a good persona for us to go after too. But definitely some of these general managers at these smaller boutiques, that's our ideal customer profile, or that's our buyer persona. So that's who we want to get to time and time again. In the next video, we're going to look at how we take all this information and we go out there and find new prospects for us to go after and research.